Oh.
Welcome to the Bravo Charlie Club podcast, making you 12 and a half minutes more awesome each week. He's Ben. I'm Richard. Let's go. Ben, how you doing this week?
Cracking on, mate. Doing really well. Hey, new listener country is Latvia. You been to Latvia?
I've never been to Latvia.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. I've been to Estonia. It's nearby, I think. So the greeting is Labrit.
Labrit.
Which, that sounds like a French-British person, but
you're offending everyone equally there, Ben. Nice.
Labrit, for the record, is good morning. I think, you can get a few other greetings in there as well. So there you go. How's life?
There we go. Yeah, good. Good. Things are good.
In the Fully Awake project, you've put here that you wanted to do a resolution check-in.
Yeah. So did you end up coming to the table, Ben, with any resolutions? And if you did, how are they going?
Well, I did. I sort of went down this sort of little rabbit hole. It was around communication protocols, actually. Should WhatsApp groups have rules? Who can be removed from a chat group? Are responses even required? And then I sort of got onto like a community hierarchy. And so I've set up my rules and resolutions for this year. If I get an SMS from my wife, I'll be responding before she's even finished sending it.
Yes. Yep.
If I get a WhatsApp from friends and colleagues, I'm likely to respond in the same day, depending on the time zone.
Mm-hmm.
And some friends of mine have said I'm an elite responder, which I take as a badge.
There you go. Yeah.
Email from my boss, 24 hours, no matter what, even if it's just to acknowledge receipt and get on to doing the actual project. Email from anyone else, 72 hours.
72 hours, yeah.
Yeah. I think some grace has to be given on project load. This is when I got really interesting. I was thinking about the messages I received on LinkedIn, and I've applied a time frame of never to messages on LinkedIn.
Right, yeah.
And because I just think it's a silly service, and if people are messaging me on LinkedIn expecting me to respond, they're setting themselves up for disappointment. And then I thought,
they certainly are.
The other thing is, like, as you know, we set up an Instagram account for Bravo Charlie Club, and it's actually got a messaging service inside of that. So I've applied a communication protocol to that. It's never plus 1 day.
Excellent. So lower than LinkedIn.
Yes, I think so. I think so. Hey, mate, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen for sale?
The weirdest thing I've ever seen for sale. I don't know. Nothing comes to mind.
I was on GumTree, and our friends and our listeners now know what GumTree is because we explained that to them. And
so you were browsing GumTree, so there you go. You're going to get a whole bunch of weird on there.
Yeah. And I've landed on the answer. It was a jar of quince. It was free pickup only, and the comment was, we don't like quince as the selling point. But here's the kicker: it was out of date. And
a jar of out of date quince,
and they had listed it after it went out of date. It wasn't like it was sitting there waiting to be sold and went out of date. It was actually listed out of date, free pickup only. Now, who's your target market is my question.
It's a fair question, I think. Sometimes it's interesting to sort of unpack the motivation behind that too. Is it that they couldn't let it go to waste, but I
hope so. I resonate with that. I do. If they didn't want it to go to waste, that's great. And look, I grew up.
Quince lasts forever. Who knows?
Yeah, true. It's just sugar,
kind of citrusy, right?
Yeah.
So it might, maybe. I don't know.
I grew up in a household where things past their date. You sniff the milk, and yogurt, if it was inside of 30 days past the use by, it was probably still fine. So maybe it's just that demographic. I don't know. Hey, let's move on to the travel tip of the week. What's the worst travel leg for you?
The worst travel leg, long haul. We're talking international.
Yeah, well, doesn't it? My answer's not actually long haul, but I'm interested.
Yeah, so I fly really well west, flying west, so going with the sun. But
Okay.
flying
That's
into,
anti-theory, isn't it?
well, I think it is anti-theory. I
Yeah.
think it is anti-theory. But flying east into the sun, well, not into the sun,
Yeah.
because planes
Yeah.
can't fly that high, but
That's
because
that
the
soon will
atmosphere
be.
and stuff.
Elon
Yeah,
Musk will get his way.
yeah. Flying east, so flying east is I'm good, but the caveat on that is West Coast America. So we're sort of flying from East Coast Australia to West Coast America. You often end up in the same day, a few
Yep.
hours before you've actually left.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
seem to
you're
be
right.
okay because I'm good at sleeping on planes. So I can
Yeah,
just
okay.
sleep and then I wake up there and I'm refreshed. And it doesn't matter. I can fly anywhere. I can anywhere from, Vancouver down to, I don't know, LA. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
good.
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good call. That particular one where you land before
Before you left, it's
you
awesome. You've
left.
gone backwards in time.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
Yeah.
But you do need to get to sleep and get into that
Yes.
time zone pretty quick. The hardest one for me is Brisbane, Auckland. Now,
Brisbane, Auckland. Okay. So, yeah.
Now it's only a 3-hour flight, which you might like harden up, man.
Oh, yeah.
But
But
it's
they're
a
3 hours ahead.
3-hour time zone in daylight savings.
Yes.
So from October to April, they go an hour in front of their normal time. And so, if you fly at 9 a.m., you leave it, you land at 3 p.m. and you're like, it's lunch. Like, I remember I've always landed and just gone and had a lunch and not had dinner because you don't know what you're doing. It's just, I just find it really,
it's enough to
really weird.
Balance. Yeah.
The reverse is though, Auckland, Brisbane is actually the best leg because you take off at 4 and you land at 4. And
yes.
So you don't lose anything. So it's a bit of fun. Hey, we got a bunch of listener feedback this week.
Yeah.
Listener MR writes in and he's caught up on our podcast. And I'm sorry to have to break this to you, but the correct way to hold a steering wheel is, in fact, with your hands at 9 to 3, not 10 to 2. Just watch any race car driver. Now, I have to believe him. He's an absolute F1 fanatic. So if he says that Max Verstappen thinks it's okay to drive at 9 to 3, well, who am I to
they drive faster and have different rules, though.
They do. They do. He reloads and says, indeed, the briefing before any track drive day or any driver training day usually commences with dispelling the myth about 10 and 2 that you've heard on podcasts.
Have you ever done one of those driver training days? Just
no,
as a side Ben?
No,
it is
I would
crazy
like to.
fun. It is so good, actually. You get to put your car into all sorts of crazy positions that you never ever would on the road, right? Swerving witches' hats, or they wet up the track and you can get to put it into a skid. And it's just kind of like understanding how the car handles in those weird situations. Yeah, it's fascinating.
I do think that would be kind of awesome.
It is awesome.
I am very lucky. A very good mate of mine is actually a racing car driver. And he drives in a class called Radical where it's a dual seater. And so I've actually had a ride in his car with him.
Yeah.
And it's I'll never do it again because I've let's anyway. But it was
just change the shorts. Yeah. We're going really fast into this corner. You need a break yet?
Yeah. That's right. That's the one on the left.
Yeah.
There's some help I can get. No, it was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey, listen to MR reloads with the neighbours parking conundrum.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that his wife and he were divided on neighbours parking, but they are combined to be upset about neighbours who leave on a permanent basis large trailers and now caravans, and also a boat on a trailer. All three are in front of their home, which makes this the conundrum of the week. This is listener-inspired conundrums, mate. Where do you stand on people cluttering up the streets with caravans, trailers, and boats?
It is that they take up so much space, and in our quite a narrow street. And actually, funnily enough, one of our neighbours who was renting there has just just moved out, and they had a really large like a Ford Ranger. I think that's a large truck,
it's a big,
isn't it?
So
Yeah.
for our US based listeners, that's like a very small F100.
And a dog grooming trailer behind it, and so they took up 2 parks really, and so if that's there, then there's 3 parks that are kind of gone, and so like with that gone, we can it's so much easier parking on the street now. So yeah.
Well, MR observed that in the old days. Now that makes him sound about 90. So I think, and he literally wrote that in the old days, people would put these things in the large garages or their backyards. But I suppose many people don't have that option right now. And I think that's fair. Like the block sizes are shrinking. The whole, the Australian dream, for instance, of having the quarter acre that's a myth. They're gone. So that's where you would have stored these kinds of things. So if you'd like to get as much airtime as MR got this week, why not leave a comment, send us a text, join the Inner Sanctum where we took a recent poll on how we should check out of the show. The links will be in the show notes. Any passing comments before we head off, Richard?
That's it, I think. No passing comments.
You're not going to reveal the... Okay, here we go. That's it, Richard. Listeners have been BCC'd on our week. In next week's show, we asked, what's the worst mocker you've ever put on anything? And I have a doozy. See you next week. Bravo, Charlie Club, out.
And that's the pod.